Welcome to the YouTube. I hope you're all doing fantastic. We're going to be doing a full day of eating today. I don't normally do this. Usually it's for the Instagram and it's a short video, but I'm going to be going through why I eat certain things, how I eat certain and just go through my full day of eating, breaking down how I eat to lose fat and retain and even gain muscle in a calorie deficit. So starting off, it's about 6 a.m. First thing, I drink a liter of water with 1 scoop of BCAAs just to make sure that my muscle is being preserved. And on top of that, I take my creatine monohydrate first thing in the morning. You can take it any time of the day. It doesn't make a difference. Just make sure the one thing is take it at the same time every day. That could be before your workout, that could be before bed. For me, I drink a liter of water first thing every morning. So I do that with my creatine and my scoop of BCAAs. And I'll see you at my next meal. So for meal one, we've got cream of rice for our pre-workout meal. Not a lot of people know how to make cream of rice, so I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tutorial on how I do it. I personally like it a little bit thicker. So you want about a 4:1 ratio of water compared to rice. So I've used 420 mils of boiling water. Then I pour my rice flour in. It's very cheap, very good source of quick digesting carbohydrates. Like this whole thing was about $2, so I'm gonna do 100 grams of this rice flour. It mixes much better with a whisk, so I would definitely recommend using a whisk. Now you just wanna mix it up. Now it's still got a pretty runny texture after mixing it up, so you wanna chuck it in the microwave for about a minute. While that's in the microwave, the reason why I have cream of rice is because it's quick digesting carbohydrates, and then I use protein powder for the protein source. You don't want to have too much fats around your workouts because it basically slows down digestion, meaning that my body's not going to absorb all of this protein and all of this carbohydrate going into the workout. If I was working out 2 hours from now, maybe I'd implement some fat, but I'm just eating this an hour and a half to an hour before my workout so that everything's going to be digested, nice and ready to fuel my session. Now, if you're working out in half an hour or 45 minutes or so, you want to have fast digesting things like fruit, things that have sugar in them, like honey, fruit, etc. So it's going to digest very quickly, ready to go into the session. Once again, not really prioritizing fats, but having protein as well is very important because you only have a certain amount of meals per day where you can implement protein. Now I'm going to put 2 grams of ground cinnamon, not sugar, nothing like that, just ground cinnamon for the digestion purposes, and also I like the taste. I'm going to use pink Himalayan salt for hydration purposes and taste as well. I do about 5 grams of pink salt for hydration, which is about 1.5 grams of sodium going into the workout. Now, since I have like 6 liters a day, I can get away with that, and the amount that I sweat, I can get away with that. Maybe for you, it'd be less, but I have about that much. Now for the protein powder, you want 50 grams. That's what I'm using, about half the ratio. Good protein to carb ratio for pre-workout. I'm using Bulk Nutrients banana flavor. It tastes decent. It's not the most incredible tasting, but it's very cost effective. My favorite protein powder is definitely Rise. I've tried a few of their flavors, and every single time I get it, it absolutely slaps. If I ever get sponsored by them, I'd definitely be hyping them up. So you want to mix that up. Now that's what it looks like. Pretty nice and thick and also steamy, which is sick. Ooh, that rhymed. Now the fun part is licking the whisker. Don't make eye contact with anyone. Now that's usually just what I have, but today I'm gonna be putting 250 grams of frozen mango on. Last but not least, frozen mango, I'm gonna use 250 grams. Absolutely beautiful, one of my favorite meals of the day. The good thing about tracking macros and calories and not following a strict plan is you get to add stuff like this mango. My normal meal is just the cream of rice bowl, but today I thought I'd have some more carbs before my workout so that I can utilize that in my training session just a little bit more, give myself a little bit more energy today. Compared to a strict meal plan, I do prefer the calorie approach unless you get into the deep depths where you need to plan ahead. But you do have that structure. Like I have this cream of rice bowl every day. I have my same post-workout meal every day, but this comes down to about 600 calories, 100 grams of carbs, and about 50 grams of protein. Cannot complain at all. I'm gonna go enjoy this meal and then I'll see you guys for the pre-workout drinks. So for my pre-workout and intra-workout, this is what we got. So just some caffeine. Usually I take a pump product, but today I'm just feeling an energy drink. I love it. And then for intra-workout, we've got a mix of BCAAs, some electrolytes, some carbohydrates, just to ensure that we're getting the most out of our lift. So I drink this about halfway through my workout, and what that does is halfway through the workout, it digests so that at the end you still have this fuel that's going to keep pushing you. So we've got Monster and we've got intra-workout carbs. Alright guys, meal number 3 is 200 grams of raw kangaroo mince. Very lean, very cheap as well compared to extra lean beef mince. You've got 80 grams raw weight rice, and then we've got 200 grams of lettuce. Just have that base at the bottom to make it a little bit lower calorie, more volume compared to just having rice and kangaroo, which is essential for the cut. So I'm just going to pray for this meal, and then we'll just cover different tactics. Dear Heavenly Father, amen. Now the thing is, we've got barbecue sauce on top of here as well. A lot of people don't track their sauces. One thing I urge you to do, even though it's low calorie, this much sauce is maybe 15 calories. If it wasn't low calorie barbecue sauce and it was normal, that'd be easily 120 calories. So just making sure to track everything. Now, this is post-workout, no fats as well. You want quick digesting carbohydrates as well as protein to recover your muscles, and then the carbs are to recover the glycogen, to refill those glycogen stores. When you work out, you expend energy, and what that does is that decreases the glycogen in the muscle, so we want to refill that. Wow, it's getting bright. And that's what we do here. So I'm just going to eat this meal, and I'll see you guys at the next meal, which will be an Instagram video actually. Here we go, this is meal number 3. So we got a chocolate protein mud cake, and we got some frozen mangoes with some sugar-free chocolate topping on top. This was for a food review. It's okay, it's nothing great. I wouldn't recommend trying it. But the one thing about eating food that I want to mention to you guys is try mindful eating. If you're eating while watching YouTube, you're probably struggling on your diet, because for me in the past, if I'm watching things while eating, I'm not really thinking about eating the food, I'm thinking about watching the content, and it makes eating much less enjoyable, and you don't notice it as much, and your body doesn't notice it either. So I would recommend just focusing on the food while eating. Sit up, stop being engulfed in your food, and actually sit back, eat your food, mindfully eat it. Chew to the point where you're confident that you could give it to a baby. And those are just a few tips that have worked for me and helped me, stay in my calorie deficit without changing anything else. But I'm gonna eat this. Tastes pretty good. And you don't need to eat boring foods in a calorie deficit. You can try these desserts. You can have frozen fruit. Sugar isn't bad for you. It's actually a good thing in moderation. But overall, I'm gonna eat this meal, and I'll see you guys at dinner. Alright guys, so this is what dinner is looking like tonight. Usually I have chicken and then vegetables. It's called shish kebabs, so it's like a really cool skewer. But tonight we are doing something different. So we've got a ton of salad mix. We've got kangaroo mince, which is very lean, and then we've got 2 eggs. So I've already meal prepped a bunch of kangaroo mince, so I just thought I'd just microwave that and then chuck that in. This whole meal is about 300 to 400 calories, about 50 grams of protein, and just overall a good way to finish off for dinner. I'm actually stuffed, like I'm genuinely full from intermittent fasting and then eating from roughly 11 to about 6 o'clock. I'm not usually full, but today, since I've picked some higher volume options, I've definitely noticed that I've been a lot more full, and this is really going to keep me going, because tonight I'm going to what's called an alpha night. So it's a Christian service where not a Christian service, it's a night where we all talk about God, and it's just learning more about Jesus, about what he did, and any questions that even non-believers might have. So I'm going there tonight. That's going to be a few hours, so this will keep me full until then. In the next clip, I'll just be talking about everything, maybe some suggestions and everything like that. But overall, 2,700 calories for the day, over 200 grams of protein, and for 300 grams of carbs to fuel performance, and then 50 grams of fat. It's a little bit lower for a lot of people. However, as long as I'm having the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, that keeps our hormones in check. Recent studies say that, so that's what I'm experimenting with. And overall, I'm feeling pretty good. So I'll see you in the next clip. Right now I'm at 23,000 steps. Let's go. Apologies for the last clip, the audio got corrupt. I was basically just talking about how you shouldn't have to eat restrictive, and you don't have to eat just boring foods in order to lose weight. You would have seen in this full day of eating, me eating ice cream, me eating fruit, a ton of fruit, me eating a chocolate brownie mud cake. It doesn't just have to be salad and chicken, right? So it's about having an approach that works for you. Now, on top of that, I'm eating 2,700 calories. What I'm eating probably isn't going to work for you. However, one thing that I am going to really emphasize is don't just crash diet. If I ate 2,000 calories, yeah, I'd lose weight a little bit quicker. I would probably lose muscle. I wouldn't have as much energy. And on top of that, the process wouldn't be enjoyable. As well, when you get to 2,000 calories, you can't really go under. Yeah, I can eat 18, I can eat 17, but that's just miserable. So the fact that I'm eating at 2,700 calories now means I've got all of that room to work with, from 27 down to 24, then 21, and you can move from there. So what I urge you to do is, let's say your maintenance is 3,000, just do a small calorie deficit of 300. Let that work its magic until you've plateaued for over 2 weeks. I haven't plateaued yet, and I'm down from 84 to now 75, 76. Let it work its magic. Then when you plateau for 2 or more weeks, then you can make a slight adjustment. Don't just be like, oh, I haven't dropped weight for a week, I'm gonna adjust. Weigh yourself every day. Make sure that the weekly average from the 7 days is changing week to week. And if it hasn't for 2 weeks, then that's when you change it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching it to the end. I want you to comment a thumbs up emoji so I know which legends made it this far. Also, let me know what you guys think of this style of content. If you enjoy full days of eating like this, if you have any suggestions that I could do differently, and if you guys want to see me working out at the gym, me giving you tips on how to execute properly and volume and training and all of these other things, let me know what you guys think about that. Much love, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.